Hi, good morning. This is Regina from Regina's Baking Academy, where we've learned that baking is cool. We also learned along the way that baking, when you do bake, that baking can create worlds of experiences. And also, I think one of the best parts that we learn about baking is the journey. We learn new things. We we get familiar with things we know already. We get re-familiar. Well, I'm coming to you this morning because last night when I was going to sleep, I knew I had to get up early, had to get out the house early. And I was thinking about when my kids were little, and I had to get them up every day for breakfast. And like I told you, I'm city born and country raised. So I was thinking about how I would get up like 5:30 in the morning, and make their breakfast, get their stuff ready for school. And I was thinking about my grandma making that pan bread. She used to cook breakfast every morning. It was five of us she helped raise, along with my uncle and then my granddad. So she basically had five little ones that she was taking care of. Plus she had her son, which was my uncle, and my grandfather. Somehow she made it not seem like it was all that hard to do. So when I became a mom and I had my kids, I started thinking, I said, well, this parent business is a lot of work. You gotta cook for the kids, you gotta make sure they do their homework, you gotta, help them with discipline and have fun. You gotta be their doctors, lawyers, and Indian chiefs. But one of the things that I really didn't have a problem with was the food part. I figured I had that part pretty much down pat, being that my grandmother used to get up every morning and fix at least 6 of us breakfast because my uncle was, I think he was in high school, but my cousins and my sister and we were in elementary school, like we were little bits. So she would get up every morning and fix us breakfast. And for some reason, I kept thinking about buttermilk biscuits because Grandma used to make pan bread. So I went to bed last night thinking about buttermilk biscuits. Can you figure that, guys? I got a ton of things to do. I know I got to get up early in the morning, get ready for work, and the only thing on my mind was I got to do these buttermilk biscuits. Because what would I do when I had the kids at home? I would get up like 5:30 in the morning, get breakfast started, because I had to get a head start before they got up. Then I would get them up, get them washed up, because I try to give them a bath the night before, because it'd be chilly in the morning. So they bath at night. They have to wash up. But all of that's happening now. I'm getting breakfast ready. So I said, okay, just in memory of that, I'm going to make some buttermilk biscuits. And because I got no business leaving them at home, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take them to work. That's right, I'm sharing. So what I had to do first, y'all, is this really great basic recipe that I got from this guy named Chef Morrow on Food Network. And Jeff. And this recipe came from his mother-in-law. Now, the secret to this buttermilk biscuit recipe is everything you use has to be cold. Like cold. You got to put it in the refrigerator. So I put my cookie cutter, the pastry cutter rather. It's not a cookie cutter. It's the pastry cutter. The butter had to be cold. The flour, I had all of that in the refrigerator. In the bowl that I'm using. All of that had to be cold, guys. So, the milk had to be cold, right? So what I've done now is I've already mixed. I pulled out 4 cups. The recipe I'm using is real simple. I use self-rising flour, so it keeps me from having to add the baking powder, which is the leavening agent. It helps the biscuits rise, right? So right now I'm using 4 cups of self-rising flour, not all-purpose. The self-rising flour has the leavening agent I need in it, and it has the salt. I don't have to add salt, so it's very simple. Buttermilk, 2.5 to 3 cups of buttermilk, right? So what I'm doing now is I'm actually breaking up the stick of butter into the flour. So I'm just using this pastry cutter to get like a form, like a crumb, pilly. When it looks more like peas, then I can add the milk to incorporate. And I think, since I got a little head start, guys, that we're there. But you know how you have that nostalgia, you have that memory lane type of thing. You know, you grew up with kids that really good home cooking stuff. Or you looked at shows and you was like, I wish I had that when I was growing up. We didn't cook like that in my house. Well, it's not impossible. Especially with things like biscuits and cakes and such. It's not hard, guys. At my baking academy, I teach you how to do this from the beginning to end, step by step. And this morning, this is a real simple recipe. Now, usually I would use the skillet, but you don't have to use the skillet. You can use a sheet pan and make sure you put your biscuits close together to get that nice rise out of them. Okay, so what I did is I had to measure out the butter with the flour, cutting it up, and also 3 tablespoons of butter for coating. Excuse me, guys, it's a little hot in here. I had to preset the oven at 425 degrees. That's another reason why you want your stuff to be nice and cold, because remember, have to wipe myself, guys, so I'll put that there. And the reason why you want your stuff cold is because when that heat hits the biscuits, it rises so nicely, y'all. Really good. Now, I've been doing buttermilk biscuits a lot, but I'm going to start doing different types of biscuits. This one just happens to be my favorite because if you started out, this is a really great recipe in that you don't have to add a lot of things in it, because with the self-rising flour, it already has what you need, right? It already has the baking powder, which is the leavening agent, and it has the right amount of salt. So you don't need to add those 2 things. So if you're just starting out and you don't want to do that, get in the the self-rising flour is a good way to cut down on a couple of steps. However, I am going to be introducing other biscuits that you will use all-purpose flour, because it's good to have more than one way to do something. It's good to have options. So now that I've incorporated the biscuits, the flour, and the butter, what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to slowly add the milk. Okay? So y'all know when I finish with something, I'm at home and my counter space is the real estate is premium. So as we use things, we try to put them away, saves time. So this is just, I wanted to pop in, guys, and just share this live with you. Because, you know, when you're in the morning, you're getting up, it's cold. You know, it's cold, right? And you're thinking, oh my God, but what a way to heat your house up, right? With some nice warm biscuits in the oven. And now it's set at the right temperature. What I'm going to do now is slowly add the buttermilk, or my version of buttermilk. Buttermilk can be a little pricey depending on where you are. And if you don't use it a lot in your house, another really good hack for buttermilk, guys, is a tablespoon of vinegar per 1 cup of milk. Okay. And what you want to do is you want to add enough to get a nice dough. Let me show you what I'm doing, guys. Okay. So I have to add a little more milk. You only add what you need. I had a little spillage over here, so we don't want that to sit. Okay. Now remember, I have to leave out of here in about an hour. So I also had to think about a recipe that would allow me time to make it. And in the morning, it's the same thing. If you got family that you preparing for, and you have to get ready for work, even if you're still working from home right now, well, I'm going to tell you guys, you want to do recipes that allow you some time to move about. When the kids were at home, I used to cook like cereal in the morning, you know, hot cereal, like grits or cream of wheat, wheatina, farina, all those hot breakfasts. Why? Because I grew up with it. That was one. But two, it was good for them to have something in their system that wouldn't just go through them. And I realized that I could have given them like a bowl of cereal, you know. And I'm not saying anything wrong with that. But when your kids are little, they got a lot of energy. And they need, you know, they're in school and they're listening to the teacher and stuff like that. They need a good start in the morning. So I had a good start, you know. I knew hot breakfast was good. I grew up with that. So sometimes I would make the kids grits and eggs in the morning. You know, sometimes I would do bacon. I try not to do that every day during the week. It was a balance. And I would do the oatmeal, homemade oatmeal, and, you know, all that good stuff, guys. It made a difference. Hot tea in the morning. And the kids used to have to take the cod liver oil. They didn't like that too much. But at the beginning of the school year, I used to give them cod liver oil, 1 teaspoon, every day for the first 2 weeks of school. And what that did, guys, it helped clean them out. I would tell you something. My kids never got sick when they were growing up. They didn't have to stay home because, you know, they got a bad cold or fever, anything like that. Actually, the only time they had to stay home is if they had, like they had an accident, like one of Ebony. We had a snowball fight, and Kayla, by accident, rolled over on her ankle. That's the only time one of them had to stay home, and we had to get her ankle fixed. So she was home for a few weeks. But every beginning of the school year, I would give the kids cod liver oil. They had to take it. Sorry about that. And as they got older, I got the cod liver capsule because I know the cod liver oil didn't taste good. I couldn't find the Castoria that I used to take growing up. When I was little, Grandma gave us Castoria. I liked it. I don't know if my cousins and my sister did, but I liked it. I was like, yummy. So I figured, you know, that helped them out, clean the systems out, and giving them a good breakfast, I think also was a big deal. So let me show y'all what I'm doing right now, because I want y'all to get a good idea of what's happening. So I'm just going to turn you around. I have to take off one of my gloves, guys, because I'm getting ready to get in it. I'm ready to get at it. Get at it. So I know you want to see what's going on, so hold on. Turn y'all around. It doesn't want to turn around for you. Oh, here we go. So this is the dough, the biscuit dough now. So what I'm going to do is knead it a little bit I'm going to add some more flour, right? Got it on the surface that I'm going to knead it. And then I'm going to just break them up. And I got a biscuit cutter. And we're going to make biscuits. Okay, guys? So I wanted to show you what's going on. Now, it's important just to knead it a little bit because you want to activate all that yumminess in the self-rising flour. Also, what you want to be able to do, just make sure all the butter is like incorporated throughout the biscuit dough. Okay? Now, being that it's not a yeast dough, I don't have to overly mix it. And you really don't want to do that, right? Because you want all that yumminess in the biscuits. So, I have my biscuit cutter. And with this recipe, Jeff Morrow said the biscuits should be at an inch, like thick, because they're going to rise really well. And you could like use them for sandwiches. You could put bacon in them or your favorite jam or whatever you want in the middle of your biscuit, eggs, I'm sharing these at work. So I may not cut them. I may not have them as high as an inch, maybe a little less than an inch. However, they're going to rise really well. Now, usually I would have them in a skillet. But for these biscuits, guys, we're going to put them on a cookie sheet. I already set the cookie sheet up with the parchment paper. And usually you have a rolling pin and just roll it out. Well, guess what? I'm just pressing down. Going a little old school this morning. Nothing wrong with a rolling pin, and this works fine. Hold on. So I'm just using my hands to press down and to get it to a basic average height. Then I'm going to take the cookie cutter and I'm going to start going at it, guys. Okay? Okay. So, I'm going to take the cookie cutter, this one here, and I'm going to flour it. You want to put the cookie cutter in the flour because it's easier to cut your cookies, okay? So you just want to coat it inside and out. And what I did is I have a bowl, and I put the flour in the bowl. And then we're just going to press down. So what I'm going to do now is clear some space because I want to take y'all with me on a journey. I don't want to leave you out, okay? All right. So I'm going to bring you down a little lower so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, guys? All right? So I'm just going to lower the angle a little bit so you can see the cookie dough. Can you see the cookie dough? All right. So you're not going to see me right now. Hold on. All right. You're not going to see me right now because what I'm doing is I'm showing y'all about the dough. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to have to lean y'all back, guys. Hold on. Oh, don't be upset. Don't be upset. Okay. Here we go. So as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm basically cutting out the cookies. The biscuits. And I'm putting them on a cookie sheet. And I'm going to show you guys once the cutting is complete. Okay? So I just dip them in the flour and press down. And the cool thing is they don't know that I'm doing this at work because I didn't want them to expect it. It was just I couldn't sleep, guys. When I was sleeping this morning, I kept saying, why am I going to get up and do biscuits this morning? Well, when your spirit tell you to do something, sometimes you may not know why, but I've learned over time that obedience is better than sacrifice. So it's not really taking anything away from me to get up a little earlier in the morning and make some biscuits. And I used to do this for my kids. I would get up at 5:30 in the morning, y'all. Get them ready for school. And then after we had breakfast in the morning, and they had their uniforms on and everything, then we would have a Bible lesson. We would do Bible study in the morning. And the book that we used to study, one of my favorite books, guys, the book of Proverbs. Just something about Proverbs. It's like life, life lessons, staying out of trouble, why it's not good to set your friends up or even people you don't like. So what happened was I had my youngest daughter. She was like, she couldn't have been more than maybe months old. And when I was doing the lessons with the kids, they would each have to read a scripture and just basically tell me what they thought about it, what they got out of it. And I knew that it wasn't like they understood it, everything, but I wanted them to get in the habit of reading the scriptures. And Proverbs, to me, has always been one of my favorite books in the Bible. Because it really taught about life lessons and how it's important to listen to wisdom and respect your parents and, basically don't think you know everything because all of a sudden you got some thoughts. But there are people that's been out there and done that can help you navigate your journey. And so that's why I used to love Proverbs, because it was about basic life, Sometimes we get to a certain age where we think we know it all. So we don't necessarily want to listen to what other people think because we got our own thoughts, we're thinking about stuff. And I wanted the kids to know that it's okay to have your own thoughts. There's nothing wrong with that. But as the word was saying, it's more important to listen to the wisdom of the elders, listen to people that's been there, done that. And don't look down on it because you think it's old fashioned. Oh, I don't want to listen to y'all. You're so old school. I'll tell you what though, some of those same lessons that I taught my children when they were in elementary school made a difference. Having a sense of integrity and not looking to harm people or even to get over on people because you can. And the importance of having a good work ethic, not being lazy, expecting someone to do something for you. The importance of getting out there, putting some sweat equity into what you do, right? So Proverbs was my favorite book, and after breakfast in the morning, we would sit the kids down because my husband would sit there with me. He'd get home from work, and he would sit with me while I taught the kids Proverbs. And I did that for about 3 years. The book of Proverbs. So guys, I'm almost done. Right? So I'm going to show you. And I got the biscuits close together. Okay. I'm going to switch it out right now. Okay. I like to clean a little bit as I go along. It just helps out. So let me show you now. See, these are the biscuits. Ooh. Okay, can you see that? See all that yumminess? Okay. I want y'all to take a look at that. See all of that? Okay. Now guess what? I'm going to put them in the oven. Got a little photo of it. Got a little photo. So I'm going to coat the biscuits now. put them in the oven, and then they're gonna be ready. And while they're in the oven, I'm getting dressed. I'm finished getting dressed for work. The reason why I don't come in here fully like everything on, because this kitchen is hot. So, yeah, I would do stuff like this. Now, when the kids were little, I didn't make them biscuits in the morning. I would make them, what did I do? I would make biscuits on the weekend. I would make them biscuits on the weekend. Sometimes we would do like pancakes, and I would take out the skillet. We had the big one, and put the bacon on it and the pancakes, and then I would have the pan and make them the eggs, scrambled eggs. But my youngest one, she liked the eggs over easy, like that. He likes eggs over easy. So I'd have a bunch of eggs scrambled, then she had to have hers over easy. But I would tell her sometimes, you're going to have to do scramble. I'm not making separate orders, my dear. So then she would like it with a little bit of syrup. So since I was making pancakes on Saturday with the bacon and the scrambled eggs, she would put a little syrup on the eggs. That's how she eats her scrambled eggs. But my other three, like Mom, they like the scrambled eggs. I love scrambled eggs. So that's what I would do for them on Saturdays. Sometimes I would do the biscuits, and we would do like breakfast sandwiches. I would make bacon and the eggs, and they could fix it how they want it. So right now, guys, I'm coating the biscuit with the butter on top. Let me show you what it's looking like, okay? All right, here we go. See, now they're nice and coated. That deserves another photo. What you think? One more? Okay. You say so. All right. So now they're going in the oven, guys. So I may come back to show you what they look like when they're done. Okay? But bye for now. I just want to share. In the morning, you could just do something quick, like some biscuits, The biscuits are in the oven. You could get dressed. You can, do your hair, get the kids together. It doesn't take long. And I'm taking these to work. I'm going to share them. I'm not going to eat them all up. I'm going to leave a few for my house. But the rest of them they're going to work. So bye for now. This is Regina from Regina's Baking Academy, where we get to learn that baking is cool. So today, the world of experience that I'm creating is that home cook that, in the morning you wake up and you smell the biscuits out the oven, yumminess. So that's what I'm creating today. All right. Take care for now, and remember to be patient with yourself. Be patient with the process, and be patient with each other. Okay? Because none of us are perfect. But each day, hopefully, we're working to be better. Bye for now.